G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the blue Holy Roman Empire, it is Beastie Cutie. On the opposite side of the map, playing as the red Rus, it is going to be Lucifron 7. This game is game number 4 in the series between these two players. We are currently in a best of 5. I'll show you guys exactly where we are up to. So far, you can see that there are a few civilizations that are available to each player, both the Mongols as well as the Abbasid dynasty and Rus. Going to be being re-enabled here. Obviously, the Rus was used in the first game by Lucifron. It's re-enabled now, as well as the Mongols. But Beastie Cutie not going to be picking up the Mongols today. Instead, going to be going for the Holy Roman Empire. Obviously, we are on Altai, and that is a map which is actually pretty decent for the Holy Roman Empire. You know, they're pretty capable when it comes to getting those walls up. You know, they are typically able to get up to the castle age without too much of a hassle. It's all going to be about getting those relics, though. And when it comes to relics, I mean, there is only going to be realistically 2 or 3 relics that are available for the Holy Roman Empire. As you guys know, the relic spawns have been tightened up significantly. They're no longer as strong as they used to be. They used to be random, and sometimes you could get these really, you know, crazy good relic spawns that would happen. And the Holy Roman Empire would end up picking up, you know, 3 or 4 relics, which were great for them because of the Regnitz Cathedral. But obviously that's been nerfed. So the Regnitz Cathedral, you know, it used to be one of the mandatory buildings that you'd see players make, and I still think it's almost mandatory. I feel like you can probably pull out the Burgrave if you're trolling or drunk. Like, those are the 2 things. So do we see the Burgrave today? Probably not. But look, a man can hope. A man can hope. At the very least, you would hope that we see maybe a Minework Palace or Minework Chapel. I can never remember which one it is. It's a Minework Palace or a Minework Chapel. I think it's the Chapel. No, it's the Palace. Minework Palace. It's going to be the Minework Palace. I'm 99% sure, he says, as he's not 100% sure. Nor is he 50% sure, really. So let's talk a little bit about this game, about how we expect it to unfold, what we expect to happen. There's a number of different things that could happen, but ideally in this position, you would expect that players are probably going to be looking to get to Castle Age. Now, Lucifron, he can look to get to Castle Age himself, but he's going to be going up against the Holy Roman Empire, and it's difficult. If you both go for a naked fast castle, then the Holy Roman Empire is just going to be able to come into the middle of the map, take the first relic, take the second relic, probably even take a third relic, and then that sort of nullifies your own fast castle. So for Lucifron today, I would expect that we probably see a little bit of aggression. There is a boar out in the middle of the map out here. He's also got a boar down to the south. This one's a little bit harder to get. You can see he's going to go through a network of, well, in fact, he can't even get through that way. He'd have to come down and around to find his way. But yeah, I would suspect he's probably going to be looking to come out onto this boar, maybe even lure it back towards this stealth forest here. Get himself a nice little hunting cabin right up against the edge here with his wooden fortress. You know, he could really get a pretty decent spot in there. With the boar. So we'll look to see how he plays it, but that would be it. I would suspect he'd probably be going for a little bit of age 2 pressure, not a whole lot, but wants to try and get up to age 3 quickly, because I do think it's important that you respect the Holy Roman Empire player in this matchup. The fact that they can get up to age 3, they can pretty much do so without impunity. Obviously, you can try and look to punish them, but the fact that they've got access to knights that are quite strong, and just, you know, even getting 1 relic, you know, this single relic down towards the south, or even this second relic in the middle, it's going to be very, very strong for them. But we'll have to wait and see how he plays it. We've got the Golden Gate already coming down for villagers here, going to be tapping away at it. You can see he's actually picking up a fair few wolves. I changed the perspective right as that wolf came in, and the last hit was happening. We'll have a look at Beastie's base and see how he's doing. Arkan Chapel is going up, so not going to be the Minework Palace, not today. Mill going to be going up right next to it as well. I do like this play from Beastie. He's got plenty of resources back in the base as well. Take a look at this. He's got 4 sheep, 5 sheep, 9 sheep total. That sounded like a rhyme. 4 sheep, 5 sheep, 9 sheep total. 3 sheep, 6 sheep, 9 sheep total. There you go. We can do it all day. We can do it all day. Make it a 4 versus 4, and we can do 2 sheep, 7 sheep, 9 sheep total. That is going to be in my head. I can't tell you how much that is going to be in my head for like the next week. I'm gonna be waking up and be like 1 sheep, 8 sheep, 9 sheep total. Negative 3 sheep, 12 sheep total. Wait, no. Hold on, that didn't work. I screwed it up. All right. I digress. But, yeah, look, when it comes to Beastie, the way that he's going to be playing, obviously he's going to be looking to go towards that Imperial Age. It's going to be tough, though, in this matchup. When we think about, you know, who wins in Imperial Age, obviously both teams are very strong here, but I do feel like it's going to be the Rus. Just the fact that the Rus is somewhat counter. As an example, right, if we had the Chinese here, and we said the Rus against the Chinese, you'd say, well, probably the Chinese would do better because the Chinese have got access to the nest of bees, which counters the Streltsy. But with the Holy Roman Empire here, the fact that you've got a civilization that likes to make predominantly infantry, the Streltsy just cuts through it incredibly effectively. So it's not really one of those things where it's super effective. And as a result, in the late game, you'd probably want to give it over to the Rus. The Holy Roman Empire have got a lot going for them. So I think it's going to be about, you know, who can get to the late game first, who can get there with an advantage. Those are going to be big factors. And we can see right there, Beastie almost killing that scout, taking it down to 51 health. Very, very nice play right there. We'll have a look on the other side of the map as we've got villagers coming out. Indeed, going to be going for the boar. Looks like 8 villagers going to be moving forward here. Almost took out that scout. Now you can see the prelate also coming out. They're going to be doing a bit of inspiring. Looks like the boar going to get taken here. Villagers going to be doing their best to try and take it down before the scout gets taken out. Indeed, the scout's actually getting pretty low. He's going to be careful there. Going to be dropping down to 25 health. The enemy scout of Beastie Cutie going to be spotting this out and seeing exactly what happens. And now we've got that wooden fortress, or rather that hunting cabin, going to be coming down here. This isn't good. Lucifron not paying attention. And going to be losing his scout in the middle if he's not careful. Oh, my lord, it's so close. Beastie Cutie going to be coming in. Might actually go for the double tap, didn't. And now, instead, going to be turning his attention around. Going to be looking to grab some of those villagers. Going to be trying to run away here with the scout. Not having a whole lot of luck, indeed. Unfortunately for him, not going to be able to make it. Not going to be able to catch it. But now some walls going to be coming out for Beastie Cutie as well. We can see that Castle Age is definitely going to be the intention here. A couple of spears also getting created, getting drafted this early in the game. And look at these vills. I don't know where these vills are up to, what they're up to. There's a tree that's chopped there, but they're intent on chopping down these ones. It always frustrates me a little bit when I see that sort of thing happening. But double scouts behind the base. Lucifron's got great vision right now. And now we actually see the transition in the middle of the map. So it's going to be double archery range coming out for Lucifron. Aggression is the name of the game. Knight already moving out as well. A couple of scouts here. Going to be looking to tap away at some of these villagers here. Looking to put the herd on. But keep in mind, Beastie Cutie, he's got a nice little defensible position here. It's going to be difficult for him to really stabilize with regard to the relics. Obviously, there's relics up towards the north that are going to be guarded up here. You can see Lucifron just chilling out there with a scout or two. He's got more scouts in the base, and the Knight going to be running in now, looking to do some damage. Going to be focusing down that spearman, but all the villagers going to be turning around. All of a sudden, the second spearman going to be coming out, and he realizes that he cannot take that fight. Prelate probably going to be jumping over and doing a bit of healing. It's something that we have seen out of quite a few Holy Roman Empire players where they just bring the Prelate over and do a little bit more healing. And that is something that's very effective. And now villagers going to be moving their way back. We can see Lucifron, not a lot of resources in the bank, but compare that over to Beastie Cutie, and he's got enough to go up to the next stage. Looks like we've got the Burgrave Palace coming down, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, the Burgrave. It is Burgrave time, so you got to know that Beastie Cutie, he is knocked back a few right now, because there's no way he would be trolling in a $125,000 tournament. No way at all. This is ludicrous. Did you see that ludicrous display last night? And by last night, I'm talking about right now. Did you see this? Double Knights coming in here. Now, Lucifron spots this, and he's like, this guy's trolling. I've got this game 100%. And look, I'll be honest with you, Lucifron, it does look... I'm not going to say 100%. I will go like... You know what? We've talked a lot about percentages already this game. I'm going to go with like 60% that you win this game. That Burgrave... Don't underestimate the Burgrave. You know, the Burgrave is still... It's got potential. But now Lucifron going to be pushing in. Looking to try and dish out a little bit of damage there. Villagers going to be able to tap on that Burgrave despite it, just because it's right next to that town center. Doesn't really have to worry too much about those archers. And we can see behind this, Lucifron probably going to be thinking about castling himself here. We'll have to wait and see. Whenever I say that, I feel like I'm casting chess. You guys know, like, when you castle, like, with the rook and the king, like, castling himself, like, you know, going castle age. I probably should just say going castle age. That way I feel less chess influence. But now we've got that Burgrave coming in and immediately going to be going for the men-at-arms upgrade, which is going to take another 2 seconds to research. There it is. You know, I don't even know why they've got research time on that bad boy. That is just instant. He is going to be looking to brr out. You know, they say the Palace of Swabia goes brr. Well, hold on a minute. Have you seen the Burgrave Palace? That thing goes brr. How do you even have the economy to keep up with this? This is ludicrous. Look how quickly those units came out. There's no way. Hold on. This is effective. Produces 400% faster. So you've got a spearman that's 3 seconds. Normally it would be 15 seconds. So technically this is the equivalent of 5 barracks. So right now Beastie Cutie is sitting on 6 barracks. He has the economy to support about half a barracks. He is struggling right now. You can see the food just not really flowing just yet. He's got the villagers trying their best to gather up. Unfortunately, the deer out here not going to be of much use But we'll check in over on Lucifron's side and see where he's up to, as indeed castling is going to be the way that he's playing it. You can see he's just bought off, just sold out for a couple more gold. And now going to be dropping down that Abbey of the Trinity. And keep in mind, when it comes to relics still yet to be captured up. We can see a couple of villagers moving out down towards his south position. But I guess that's one of the things to note, right? When Beastie's under pressure, okay? This is a tough game. Obviously, he's on match point, but he wants to win this game, right? Like, he's not playing this game to lose it. And so he realizes there's too much pressure out. He's not going to be able to gather relics. And without the relics, he's not going to be, he's not going to be able to funnel out units non-stop. And so he'll just go into Burgrave. And it makes sense. I like the play from him. And now more units continuing to come out. You see how fast they pop out. He's got 6 men-at-arms. He could already look to challenge this, look to try and regain this. We'll have to see how exactly he goes about it. But now, more units continuing to just siege down the Archon Chapel. But just keep in mind, he's got emergency repairs. If worse comes to worse, he's got emergency repairs. Villagers making their way back. If we got a wheelbarrow, we do have a wheelbarrow already coming through. So Beastie going to be looking absolutely fine here. And Lucifron trying to hold it down. Still, we don't see any relics getting picked up just yet. 5 relics out on the map. So Lucifron going to be a happy camper. Definitely going to be looking to pick up at least 3, maybe even 4 of those relics. So one up towards the north always going to be a possibility for him as well. He's got that one in the middle pretty much sorted, you'd think. It's quite close there. But New Age has now begun, both players in the Castle Age. And we can see Beastie Cutie trying to hold on. Definitely look at it to just keep his head above water at the moment. The walls are continuing to come up for him. And this is something that Beastie Cutie loves to do. He loves to just wall up, control the narrative, prevent a lot of fights coming in. Beautiful little spot. Hold on a minute. Yeah, okay, I was going to say, is there a way that he can get through there? Doesn't look like it. House going to be going down, getting rushed up here. Plenty more units going to be jumping out of that Burgrave Palace. I can't believe that we are seeing a Beastie Burgrave Palace. That is very, very curious. I got to be honest with you. If he somehow manages to win with this, I tell you what. You know what? It's Beastie Cutie. I would not be surprised if he wins with this. His percent is going up to win this game every single second that it continues on like this, because Lucifron behind this, I mean, realistically, if I'm in Lucifron's position, I feel like you probably need to be thinking about a second town center here, because the Holy Roman Empire player, he's managed to survive. You put on early pressure, and he brushed off his shoulder. He's like, I don't care about that, mate. Like, just a little bit of dust off the shoulder. He's going to go pick up the relics behind it. You can see he's still yet to do that, but he doesn't even really care that much about it. And he will be working towards that Imperial, whether that's a sooner Imperial Age, whether that's a later Imperial Age. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but the truth is that if you're going to be looking to keep up with the Holy Roman Empire economy, you're probably going to need a second town center sooner rather than later. But we'll take a look at how Beastie's doing. You can see that he's got plenty of resources in the back, actually stacking up resources, looking to go for that heavy mace upgrade. Another 10 seconds and that'll be finished. It's only a 12-second upgrade at the Burgrave Palace, and you got to say, the Burgrave Palace is looking good. Scout moving out. A couple units coming around. Men-at-Arms also going to be coming in for a bit of a raid down here. This is good for Beastie. This is good for Bitcoin. This is good for Beastie. Beastie is doing very effectively. Men-at-Arms looking to just chase units around. Going to be catching a warrior monk there with its pants down as well. At the same time, that front line going to get opened up. Relic coming back from a monk now. He's going to be looking to drop it off. There's no outposts around here, so he might have to think about dropping it off into a monastery. In the worst case scenario now, more units coming in. Beastie just chasing away villagers, heading in all over the map. Crossbow mass beginning to build here as well for Lucifron. And down towards the south, we see that man-at-arms just stuck on that single spot, just being so annoying. And Beastie knows exactly what he's doing. He specifically leaves a single men-at-arms here just to be annoying, just to trigger that alarm, that attack arrow off, or that attack signal off, just a little bit. You know, that is essentially it. That is how he plays. He does that very intentionally. Now a couple of horse archers going to get picked up here. The men-at-arms are going to be trying their best to deal with them, but keep in mind these guys aren't heavy. But I tell you what, they still take heavy damage from the heavy blows of those men-at-arms. And speaking of heavy blows, more villagers going to be going down on the gold mine. You can see all of the relics coming in now for Lucifron. He's got at least 2 coming in on the way. He's already got 1 in the town center. Second one going to be coming back right now. And crossbow is going to be looking... You can see the way that, you know, Lucifron has to react to this. He sends 10 crossbows down to deal with a single men-at-arms, more men-at-arms, as well as a spearman coming through, and now another raid on the backside. You can just see action all over this map right now. It is just completely going ham, and crossbows now coming out. You can see the wall's going to be going up here from Lucifron, trying to wall his enemy out and stop those raids from coming through. And this is the thing. If you don't wall against Beastie Cutie, you are just going to get left behind, because he is the kind of guy, he's going to get these walls up. He's going to buy himself time. We hear more attacks going off. The horse archers trying their best to close out the distance and not having a lot of luck. You can see the men-at-arms just chasing non-stop. They managed to get their way all the way to the back corner there. They're going to be changing directions, heading out. And indeed, we do see a second town center coming down now for Lucifron. I do think this is the right decision for him. The question is going to be now more about the Imperial timing. And the thing is, he wants to make sure that he doesn't go too early on the Imperial, but at the same time, he needs needs to get to Imperial for those Streltsy. Streltsy are really what are going to be the kings in this matchup. If he's able to get to Imperial on a decent economy, if he's able to get there and get a decent massive Streltsy out, I don't see how he loses this game. Now, obviously, I say that, and then when it actually doesn't happen, that's going to be a different scenario. So it's important to remember that, you know, he's playing up against Beastie Cutie, and Beastie Cutie, the kind of guy who's got a hat that is full of rabbits, and he's always happy to pull one out, and he's obviously pulled out one rabbit so far. The question is, how many more rabbits is he going to pull out? Because it always comes down to just, you know, Beastie's rabbits always coming out of these damn hats. You can never trust the guy. You can never trust the guy. I remember when I met him for the first time, he took off his hat, 3 rabbits popped out, and he said, that one there, that's Marine Lord's cousin. And that was where our relationship started, and it never went bad from there, never went sour from there. But speaking of Lucifron though, Lucifron, he is not looking good right now. He's looking a bit sour. He's got everything going for him, but at the same time, Men-at-Arms not really going for him, going for Beastie at this point. More units just continuing around the enemy lines. He's doing a good job of just distracting Beastie over on that side. But now we start seeing that crossbow mass build. And so when it comes to crossbows, you know, what is going to be the best approach to deal with it? I would argue lens connects. If you can get a decent number of lens connects out, you can really cause some havoc. As long as you can find a decent flank, that's going to be the big thing. Against Streltsy, that's a little bit different because the Streltsy just attack so damn hard that when it comes to dealing damage, it is a very different matter. But now Sacred Site's also getting taken up. We see the first one getting taken in the middle of the map. Looks like those Men-at-Arms still causing havoc. We'll do a quick villager count and see where we're at. 48 villagers for Lucifron, 46 for Beastie Cutie. So despite being on that one town center, you still see that Beastie Cutie is just keeping his head above water here. Now going to start adding in farms. Look at the way he's adding in farms as well. Really looking to try and take control. And you can see he's just chasing units around this entire map. He is intent on just sending units out onto each corner of the map and just looking to try and cause havoc, cause damage. More Men-at-Arms going to be running out. He's not worried. You know, he's not building up a big mass of units behind this. He's just kind of sticking his head out. He's just continuing to do him. And now crossbow mass is going to be building here from Beastie Cutie. He is going to be looking to build up that mass of crossbows and get some units out on the board. Obviously, his enemy's already up to 13 crossbow. He's not going to be looking to go into lance connects here. Always an option for him, but an expensive option and not always going to be a guarantee, especially now that we start to see Lucifron going with some archers out on the field. Also going to be looking to go into veteran archers, so might be aware of the potential that his enemy is thinking about it. But now we see the Men-at-Arms just going to be standing in hold position. The Warrior Monk trying to be fair, the Warrior Monk can just stand there all day, and then, you know, neither player or Lucifron just holds onto the Sacred Site. He's happy, and we can see now Beastie going to be having to react to that. Lucifron going to be forced off the Sacred Site, at least for the moment. And now back towards the center of the map, we can see those Warrior Monks going to be looking to heal up some of the units that were damaged. More units down towards the south. Beastie moving in with Men-at-Arms, looking to catch a couple of villagers off guard. 7 villagers inside this. They're going to continue sieging down. Third Sacred Site going to potentially be taken down the south towards or for Lucifron. And you can see the amount of damage that's coming off on these Men-at-Arms. Barely anything. More units continuing to move out. And now Beastie. I think Beastie actually might be heading towards that Sacred Site. No, I'm not sure exactly where he is going with that Men-at-Arms, but that Men-at-Arms did unfortunately lose his life. He tried valiantly to make... Yeah, okay, he was going to the Sacred Site. There's a little way through the mountain right there. Sacred Site number 3 is now taken. An enemy is approaching Sacred Site victory. I was going to say 3 words, but that's like 5 words. 5 words you don't typically want to see. Not a good thing. Definitely not a good thing, but new objective. I love the game just popping this up and just letting us know right in the middle of our screen. It's not like we were watching the game or anything like that, but we've got double walls now coming up, or at least attempting to come up. Lucifron obviously going to have to do a bit of a walk if he wants to actually get that wall up. Either that or he's actually going to have to siege down this palisade wall in the front. But crossbow mass starting to build up now for Lucifron. You can see he's on 13 crossbows, 6 veteran archers at this point. He is continuing to add in farms behind this as well. Going to be adding in, how many farms have we got right now? 10 farms, 11 farms coming in for him. So slowly but steadily adding in more farms around that town center. And going to be looking to grow this economy a little bit better and continue investing. You can see he's actually struggling with regard to his population. He's sitting on 90 at the moment, and that's not typically where you'd expect a player of the Rus to be around this position. You'd expect to be like 120, 130. Obviously, there's been some fighting happening. 91 population at the moment, 62-29 versus 55 and 21. So Beastie Cutie sitting on a pretty decent margin here as well. He's managed to keep up with his opponent. Villager count always going to be the primary factor here. But now we see a keep coming down for Beastie Cutie. And I do like this adaptation from him. This is going to delay the game out further. And remember what we said earlier. You know, the longer this game goes, it's going to be better for Beastie Cutie as long as he can get into the late game ahead of his enemy or, you know, in front of his enemy. If he's able to push out in Imperial Age and look to really do serious damage before his enemy can reach Imperial and actually get a decent mass of Streltsy up, it's going to be very difficult for Lucifron to deal with that. But now Lucifron going to be cleaning up the remnants of this raid. We'll take a look from Lucifron's perspective. You can see he's got great coverage coming out, continuing to wall up the remainder of the map in a very interesting wall that he's got across here. I mean, it serves its purpose though, doesn't it? But now continuing to head down towards this sacred site, we can see a Men-at-Arms just going to be looking to neutralize that one a Knight, together with a Warrior Monk going to be jumping out towards that direction, and they are going to be intent on taking this bad guy down. And indeed, the bad guy goes down with his back facing them. He has just got absolute honor. He has no intention of facing his enemy. But speaking of facing his enemy, looks like Lucifron going to have no choice because Beastie Cutie is on the way to Imperial. We're going to be seeing that landmark come down. There it is. Palace of Swabia going to be coming down in the back of the base. Beautiful positioning by Beastie Cutie as well. You got to really just remark on his base building. You know, honestly, I get hung up by a lot of pros and the way that they base build. Beastie Cutie is not that guy. Beastie Cutie's base building is genuinely fucking next level. I am never critical when I see Beastie's base building because he always builds it perfectly. And here we see the Palace of Swabia coming outside the range of this oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name, the Archon Chapel. You can see that underneath the Archon Chapel, he's literally got only farms, and that's exactly what you should be doing. Obviously, he's got like lumber camps and whatnot, but now it looks like a forward keep going to be coming down here. Lucifron going to be turning his attention towards it, but keep in mind, Beastie going up to the next age. He's going to be able to get bombards out sooner and look to deal with that. Obviously, Trebuchet is going to be an option for him as well, but considering you're playing the Holy Roman Empire, it just makes sense to go for the bombards. You're going to have that little bit of extra gold trickle, even though you are running the Burgrave Palace. And, you know, we got to take a look at that Burgrave Palace right now. We got to get a nice little look at it. Isn't that just gorgeous? It is so rare that you actually get to see this landmark come out and be on your screen. So I want to just take this moment just to admire it. But now we see that there are plenty of crossbows beginning to build up in mass, and that keep actually going to be preventing a little bit of villager gathering over here. We see it firing down on the villagers down below. It looks like that villager probably going to be going down. Indeed, multiple villagers going to be going down if they are not careful. Now battering rams going to be coming out as well. Beastie got to be careful. He's got a ram attacking this outpost. The outpost, you can see it's barely got any girth left on it as it does go down, leaving a relic inside it, remaining, penetrating through the roof there. But now units just over on every single corner of the map. 2 Men-at-Arms over here, 2 Men-at-Arms over there, 2 Men-at-Arms everywhere. And Lucifron now with the with the counterweight Trebuchet. I don't know if he's actually aware of the keep behind here. He should be aware of that keep, I suspect. But we can see that Lucifron really not intent on going up to the Imperial Age at this point. His economy at the moment, 78 villages compared to the 70 of Beastie. And Beastie is going to rocket past him right now. Keep that in mind. That Lucifron's second town center did come in, but Beastie did a lot to keep down that villager count. That's going to be one of the big things in this game is it's going to be villager count and the difference there because Beastie was just relentless with the way that he was playing it. Now we can actually see that, unfortunately, it looks like villagers are going to be exposed through just a single overchop. One tree getting chopped right there has led to all of this because that line of sight suddenly gets exposed through from these trebuchets. Looks like we've got rams going down. And now the crossbowmen still yet to receive their Imperial upgrades, their elite upgrades. We do have elite upgrades coming through now for the Men-at-Arms. And keep in mind, Lucifron's still not yet Imperial. He is thinking about it though. Villagers trying to get up that lumber camp. One of the villagers does manage to survive. You can see he's trebbing down this Archon Chapel, but just remember, he's got emergency repairs. Emergency repairs in this position is going to be able to keep him alive for a lot longer than what you'd expect. And now more crossbows continuing to move up and more Men-at-Arms in the villager line. 84 villagers at the moment for Lucifron, but now we're going to see Beastie up on 77, slowly bridging the gap between these two players. Another keep going to be coming down here for Lucifron. He's going to be looking to try and take control, and we see the first bombard begin to come out, making its way upon the field. This bombard from Beastie Cutie is going to look to try and equalize the siege difference between these two. I think we have seen emergency repairs come out over on this Archon Chapel. It's got quite a fair bit more health than what it used to have. Should have been dead by now, but now those trebs going to be forced to come back. We can see the bombards moving their way out. Lucifron going to have to fall back if he wants to keep those bombards alive. And indeed, he reacts immediately. And now we see that age up coming through. It looks like there's going to be an Imperial age coming through shortly. There it is. Middle of the map. High Armory coming down on top of that Siege Workshop. A very nice spot here. But keep in mind, Beastie is in a great spot, okay? He's got a lot of tempo behind this. So it's going to be Lucifron sitting with 2,400 wood right now. What is going on right now for that? From here, what does Lucifron want to do? I feel like Lucifron genuinely just wants to add in like 10 archery ranges. Let's take a look at his production right now. production, he's got 4 archery ranges. Add in like another 10 archery ranges and just go 100% Streltsy at this point. That's all you do, and you should be able to survive, hopefully. Maybe get a couple bombards out yourself just to try and deal with the bombards that your enemy's got. And then that should be it. That should be the best way to play it. Now, obviously, that's better said than done. It's going to be difficult for him. You can see the mass of units coming out from his enemy here, but he just wants to slow play this. That's the thing. He's on the back foot right now with this bombard. This bombard's going to be forcing him back. In fact, we see a second bombard coming out now, and it's probably likely that he loses the higher armory here as well. But I think that's the best way for him to do it. He just needs to slow play it. Maybe even stop making villages at this point. Just really focus on getting the Streltsy out. But now going to actually be pushing in towards his enemy. I don't know exactly what he's doing. He's just hit the Imperial Age, losing out multiple knights. These are expensive units that have just gone down, and he's continuing to push up into the bombards. Not sure exactly what is going on right now for Lucifron. He's trying his best, but keep in mind, this is match point. If Lucifron loses this game, that is it. He is out. He is done, or at least down into the lower brackets. But this is going to be it. He's going to be trying his best, continuing to push forward, and Beastie Cutie actually senses there might be blood in the water. Looks like the villagers do get pulled, trying to repair up that keep. Not going to have a lot of luck, and now continuing to push forward. There are no Streltsies out whatsoever. We'll take a look at the production, and you can see there is not a single Streltsy even considered to be made right now. No village, or 9 villagers in the queue right now, but he doesn't need villagers right now. He needs prayer, and he needs Streltsy to get out right now to try and save him, because that's the only thing that's going to be able to keep him alive here. Still, we see more veteran horsemen coming out. I'm not sure what the whole thought is behind veteran horsemen coming out. Bandit Arb's also going to be coming out here. I don't know how he's going to be able to support 4 siege workshops. Lucifron, what are you thinking? You are a man who has got interesting priorities. Let's just put it that way. Lucifron, 4 siege workshops. 4 siege workshops. You can barely support 4 archery ranges, Lucifron. He's looking to mass up Springles. You can see that. He's now getting roller shutter triggers, bandit arms coming through as well, getting all the upgrades for them. But he's going to have a difficult time because elite men at arms are just running rampant through his base right now. And he's going to continue pushing back. We see a market going to come down. Finally, he realizes that 2K wood, not the best spot to be in. He's going to continue trying to hold on this frontline position, but he is struggling right now. Men at arms continuing, and this is what we were talking about when it comes to the tempo that the Holy Roman Empire have. Once they get to these 3 bombards, it gets really difficult. The Streltsy, unfortunately, nowhere to be seen right now, and Beastie Cutie looking very strong. As good game gets called, Beastie Cutie moves through to the next round. Lucifron going to be dropped out of this winner's bracket final. Fellas, make sure you check out EGC TV's Golden League. It is happening this weekend, 15 GMT. Be there or be square. Saturday and Sunday, I'll be casting, and you'll be having fun. I'll catch you then.